Hey, welcome to another episode of Raw Report on the Go, and I'm not really going anywhere because we are in quarantine. Man, it's been a rough month or two. But I read something that said this too shall pass, and this will pass. I guess the only way to remain safe is to continue to stay at home. Only go out when you really have to go out to get food, groceries, and if you can find other ways to get that, get that. If a family member is going out to get food, have them to pick you up something and bring you back. Make sure you got on your gloves. Sure you got on a mask. Yes, even regular people going out need to have masks. All right, stop with that foolishness saying only give it to sick people. No, everybody need to have a mask. You need to copy Wuhan. You need to copy most of the Asian countries who deal with situations like this all the time. So me being in the house, sitting on my behind eating crap, man, I'm staying in the bathroom and all that kind of stuff. So I figure I'd get back to what I normally do, and that's deal with these politicians. Now, I have my issues with AOC. Got a lot of issues. But I agree with her on this one. The New York Post said AOC slams Cuomo decision to suspend New York mortgage payments. Now, Cuomo announced a moratorium to suspend mortgage payment. But he did not announce the moratorium to suspend rent payment. Now, originally, the country, even Trump, was torn with the idea of suspending payments in general for at least 90 days, at least till we can get through this crisis, bend the curve or crush the curve, whatever, go back down, go back to normal. I believe all things are possible. I believe this thing is not going to last. I believe this thing is going to be eradicated, and I stand on that. It's not a guarantee this thing going to stay always, but some of us believe that it's going to always be here, and I tend to beg to differ. But it said Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez took aim at Governor Andrew Cuomo's decision to suspend mortgage payment. Now, understand this. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has an election coming up. She is being challenged. She has a Democratic challenger who already said that she's going to Hollywood and she's forgetting about the people. And seemed like she's forgetting about where she came from. I mean, she's pretty much Hollywood. Kind of agree with that a little bit. And on the fact that she's not endorsing other people running for office, other people who have the same platform that she have the same mindset that she have, that she's not even endorsing them. Like Cory Bush, who was with her here in New York City at the Long Island rally, who came out to support not just Bernie Sanders, but to support her. Who Cory Bush endorsed her. Shame on these people who we put in the office because of their differences from the corporate class. Then we got to deal with these people that may turncoat every now and then for the sake of getting a deal and things like that. Or meeting in the middle, things like that. No, we need some soldiers. You pick your battles. Some things you could, come to agreement on and then add a layer on top of that temporarily. But no. So I'm having my issues with her that you're turning your back on the movement in certain areas. You're not endorsing people who think like you, act like you, talk like you, and push the same agenda that you do. Matter of fact, you're putting yourself in a position where you're leaning more toward the people who are totally opposite of you. Calling Nancy Pelosi Mama Bear? Really? Mama Bear? But she's right on this. Everybody looking at Andrew Cuomo as this hero. Man, I got a video of Andrew Cuomo saying that we got plenty of supplies. We just want to make sure that if that time comes, we are in the extra, that we don't have to worry about that. Well, why don't you just say that on TV? Just say, hey, we got plenty of supplies for now, but we expect a peak. And we want to already be ready for that peak when that peak comes. So sure, we got enough. We got enough masks, we got enough ventilators, we got enough gloves, we got enough garments, we got enough everything that we need right now. But we are believing there's going to be a high point coming up in the next 90 days, and we want to be ready for it instead of asking for it when that high point comes, when every second matters. Just say that. And I got a video on my Facebook group, on Bob TV Facebook group. Check it out. Join Bob TV NYC Facebook, and you'll see that video up there of him admitting that we got well more than enough equipment. He said that. He said that with his nipple ring on. But let's go back to Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. The decision to suspend mortgage payments but not rental payment during the coronavirus outbreak accused him of giving preferential treatment to wealthier New Yorkers. And let me tell you something. You got to have money if you own a property in New York. If you are a homeowner in New York, I don't care what kind of home it is. It could be the crappiest home. That's a lot of money. You can sell the crappiest home for $500,000. My ex-wife, her house, she had what they call a brownstone. She sold her brownstone for enough money where she could move to Virginia and live comfortable. My ex-wife took that money that she made, paid off her mom's house in Virginia, now she's renting it, and went and bought another house in Virginia and some land. But everybody's not like that. My wife has been on the force for over 20 years, NYPD. So, she got a nest egg, my ex-wife. Everybody's not like that. Most of the people in New York, especially in New York City, are renters. This is a renter's paradise or a renter's hub. Not paradise because the rent is too doggone high. So you'll rather put the preferential on homeowners, but you're going to risk letting thousands of New Yorkers getting kicked out of their home in the midst of this crisis? You got to be out your nerves, Cuomo. And post talking about, we need to replace Cuomo with Biden with Cuomo. I don't understand where you get that logic from. I guess the Democratic Party can do what they do since they're a private organization. That's why I don't see why people support this private organization. They can just gate the democratic process. They could care less if Bernie Sanders, if Joe Biden was to just step down and say, I don't want to do this no more, they still not going to give the nomination to the man who got more votes, won more states than anybody else other than Biden. They still not going to get a nomination to him because they don't like him. And here we go. If you call for a suspension of moratoriums on mortgage payment, then we should also call for that same treatment on rent payments. And I agree with AOC. We're kind of creating a class and race issue. We're essentially rewarding and offering preferential treatment to landowners and folks who are more wealthy, and we're not offering that same kind of relief to renters, the Democratic Socialists continued. Even just for an economic perspective, it is not responsible to ignore this problem. Now, I'm not going to go into this article in detail. I want you to go take a look at it. It's the New York Post. But she's right. Now, I trust no politician. I don't trust AOC. I don't trust Cuomo. I don't trust anybody. Whenever you make a decision, I'll support your decision if it's good. If it's not, I'm not going to support you. And if I feel it's a problem, I'm going to blast you. And here I agree with AOC on this particular situation that Cuomo need to be doing a moratorium on rent and mortgage payment for the entire state for at least 90 days. So I just paid my rent. Can't get my money back. I can be using that money to store up for after I get out of this crisis. I can use this money to store up so if I decide to cuss the kid is thinking about moving to Las Vegas or moving back home to Florida to take care of his mom, even though she don't need it, or moving back to Virginia and take care of my dad even though they don't need it. But I'm grateful that my mom and dad is alive, and I want to make sure that they're protected. So I got my options. I may be leaving New York by the end of the year. Plus, I want to go somewhere where it's warm. Now, I prefer somewhere with some beaches, and that's where my mom is. But this money, this extra money that we're going to be getting is a good time to save, to move if you want to move, to put down on a house, to start a business. This money is not designed for you to stock up on everything and buy up everything. This is a good opportunity to take this extra money that's coming and you invest in yourself. And people starting businesses for less than $50. Less than $100, you can start a business and be profitable within a month's time. So no, he need to be shut down. There need to be a moratorium on rent and mortgages. AOC is right in this particular situation. She is wrong on not endorsing other progressives like herself. I'll deal with that in another video. But this is the one chance where I do agree with AOC. So I'm going to be blasting Cuomo's Twitter, hitting his mailbox if I can. Let him know that he ought to be ashamed of himself trying to protect his rich buddies, because Cuomo them grew up rich, man. They don't... I think there was very small. I don't think they ever remember living poor. Their daddy has always had money. So he don't know what it's like to be a renter in New York. And I guarantee you, if he's renting right now, the government is paying for it. The state of New York is paying for it. He lives in the governor mansion now. Even as lieutenant governor, he had his own place. We paid for it. Even when he was with the Bill Clinton administration, we paid for it. He's been in this game for a long time. Campaigning for his dad for a long time. The boy is wealthy. Same thing with Chris Cuomo. Get a job easy just by being named the Cuomo. Don't get me wrong. Chris can be a good journalist if he want to. But he's a hack just like the rest of them. So I don't trust these Cuomos. And I don't trust AOC. I'm only going to trust you by your actions. And that's that. But she is right on this one. Cuomo, stop being a butt white. Stop looking out for your rich buddies and make sure every person in this country, whether they're working or not, gets some kind of relief on their rent. Bad enough that they may get kicked out in the middle of this crisis, sleeping on the trains that's full of germs and viruses because they have no place to stay. I'm Robert Brown with the Rob Report on the Go. I'll holler at you later. Peace.